Well, I am back. Damn, you guys just beat me to it. Tricky, what's going on? This is going to be a short live stream. It's not going to be long. It's not going to be anything that's going to last for like even 2 hours. I doubt it. But I just wanted to share my thoughts on a couple of things that has been happening recently. No, it's not drama related, but there has been drama that's been happening with me not saying anything. And, it is what it is. Just let it fly. I really don't give a fuck. I have more better things to worry about, more productive things. Those people who do that, let them do that. That's on them. They have no lives, and they're hypocrites. So, but before we get into it, I'm gonna put the link in the live chat. Let me get the StreamYard and put it in there. And I should I pin it? Let me pin it. Hey girl, what's going on? What's going on, girl? Let me pin this link. Okay, it is pinned. Yes, ain't that the truth indeed. Hey Chayton, what's going on? But one of the things I wanted to talk about was, well, as you know, the law has overturned the concept of abortion, or I guess the legalization of abortion. And I wanted to state my opinion because I never had talked about it, and I wanted to give my my personal perspective on why. What's my thoughts on it? Kevin Laggy, what's going on?
C2 bitch.
What's happening? My personal opinion when it comes to the abortion being not constitutional anymore, or it was trying to be constitutional, now it's no longer. For the people who support it not being constitutional, meaning by they don't support abortion, they're not pro-choice, I'm not going to vilify them. I'm not going to say you guys are woman haters, you guys are misogynists, you guys are sexist. I'm not going to do that, because that would be a radical way of handling things. I think, especially in the media, we need to handle things in a more constructive manner to be taken seriously. And if we don't handle ourselves like that and become radicals, then it just paints a picture for the other party to vilify us for what we want and how we stand for the rights that we are going for. So, for instance,
we talked about that on Twitch.
Well, it's not banned, but it's viewed as unconstitutional. What were you saying, Kev?
I said they never start saying somebody talked about that on Twitch.
I have not seen that particular individual who has said that. Can you reference that person?
I didn't watch the stream. I don't like give it two shits about the living stream.
Okay, well, it's a nobody then. But one thing I'm gonna say is that
on the title about what abortion.
Well, from the moment you said truth, I already know who you're referring to. Aliens. That's who you're referring to. Aliens from another world.
Yeah, aliens.
Ugly kind. Ew. Stinky. But hey, Chayton, what's going on? I just feel like, I just feel like when it comes to this whole abortion thing being unconstitutional, my opinion, why are the males are more invested into this whole legalization or illegalization of or I should say constitutional versus unconstitutional of abortion when they don't give birth? What is the obsession over a woman's vagina when it comes to giving birth? Why is it that they want to say it's killing the kids? First of all, the kid is not even a kid yet. Okay, they're not a kid until they reach about 7 or 8 months, and even 7 months is a little bit, that's like a preemie. So yeah. It's not even fully developed, because it still has to be an incubator in order to fully develop into a full-grown full-grown infant. But the whole idea when it comes down to it is that do you really care about the children, or do you just care about the fact that this is a way you can nullify the rights for women? Because I fear that may be the case. You know, I would expect more women to be, vocal about whether or not they support abortion or whether they're against abortion. But from what I'm seeing, it's a lot of males who are in this, more so than women. The women who are fighting against abortion, or the women who are supporting abortion, are more women than men. And these men are not giving birth to these children. They're helping the process when it comes to giving fertilizing the female, but they are not literally giving the birth to the child. So I want to know, what's your fucking deal? Why you're so concerned about what happens in a woman's vagina? Like what is the whole fucking deal with that shit? That's my concern. Because I understand from a moralistic standpoint, whether it may be a religious standpoint, you feel like abortion is harming kids. But how many of you, fathers or non-fathers out there really care about the children? Because I really would like to know, because I want to hear. Oh, go ahead, Chayton. What you're going to say? I was about to go off on a tangent.
As a former Catholic, I know that the Catholics are celebrating because Catholics, unfortunately, their things was abortion. One thing they had a problem with. So some I never agreed with back then, but the matter was that was something that a lot of people in my community were very much for, like anti-abortion. So I know they're celebrating.
Right.
I even though I lost faith, I respected the Catholics more than I did Christians, but I still had my issues with them as much as Christians.
Yeah, your personal biases, right?
Yeah. But that was one of the things I was against back then. So, but I think the thing that I'm more concerned about, really. Because so we've been having this whole gun control fiasco due to the shooting in Uvalde, Texas.
Yeah, that's the next thing.
Yeah. And so, like, what I don't understand is that while I do believe that even if the gun laws are strict or whatever, I do believe that it's not going to really change anything, because I compare it to the drug situation that. Same thing. I don't know if this has made national news, but there was also in San Antonio, there was a 18-wheeler found with like 50, or I can't remember how many, but there was at least 52 immigrants dead. That they were being, it was basically a trafficking situation.
Human trafficking. I think I heard of that on BBC America.
Okay, so it has got national attention. Like I've checked on national news sites, but what concerns me more
not
is
ABC.
that,
I didn't see it on ABC.
what concerns me more, not like they were focusing more on this than the whole gun situation. To me, the gun situation, regardless of anything, is a more problematic issue at the time with all these shootings. But I will say, though, is that since this thing was done in the 70s, if I'm not mistaken, so this was a law that was in for 50 plus years, right?
And that was a time when women were just recently getting their rights to equal pay. Just them voting was 30 years prior. So this was a lot in favor. Like, they wanted to have the right they wanted to have their reproductive rights, and as they should. But the people, especially like the Republican Party and the people who are in a position of power, mainly, unfortunately, it's, white American males, they wanted to remove that right so that women wouldn't have the right to control their sex life. Basically, because then if
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I finished my point.
So, like my main, I guess it would be a concern is if they're willing to do it, like change this law that's been in the work and it's old. What is going to stop people from doing other laws, especially if it comes to
And
women?
that is my biggest fear. That is really where I was telling a friend, I was like, this is my biggest fear, because this is one of the biggest things that the Republican Party has been wanting to do, is trying to get a law instituted for their own cause, you know? And I always said, this is how it's going to operate. They're going to target women, right? So you got the abortion is one of the biggest things that they're going for, right? Since now they got that successfully out the way, the next thing they're going to do is gay marriage. How much you want to bet that they're going to, after they finish targeting the women, it's either going to be the guns or the gays, right? The final form or the final evolution, and I'll hint this with Dark Horse, is black people. That's the final. That's where the last of the Mohicans, where the rights will be taken away. But it's going to be gradual, because that's how the MAGA, Make America Great Again, comes from. It comes from the idea of shifting America back to how it was like in the 1950s, 1940s, and keeping it that way, because that's the way that they want it to be. You know, they hate this liberal utopia that they see nowadays, and they despise it. That's why they're always hateful of anything that's being passed, because it goes against their own worldview and social narrative. So that is where they want to go. But how much you want to bet the next one, the next group, the next party is either going to be gun control or gay marriage? How much you want to bet?
Sadly, I do believe it would be gay marriage would be next before gun control.
I wouldn't doubt you.
Yeah, like, and again, it's like, it's like my girlfriend and I the two things I've laid down, basically we've came to agreement with it. And again, she's a trooper, because again, I was not expecting her to be okay with this. She has no kids of her own. But I told her, I said, when we first got together, I told her, I said, the two deal breakers for me: I'm not planning on getting married ever again, and I'm not planning on having kids. So we get, like, now, especially with the laws now, we got to be extra careful on the latter, because if for some reason, you know, and that, let's say we had unprotected sex, and you know, and she is on birth control, or tubes ain't tied, or whatever, and she gets pregnant, and you know, that's something that we would have to deal with, you know. And especially,
you gotta come to the East Coast to get that sorted.
And she's older, you know. She's 38, so it's you know.
Oh, she's not that older from you, yeah. About a decade.
Yeah, about 10 years, yeah. I remember when we first started talking. The first thing I said, and I know it's probably a question you may ask. The age thing doesn't bother me, but
neither does me. Older, not younger. Don't get that shit twisted. Okay, sickos out there. You know who I'm talking to. Okay, all right.
But yeah, like, so the whole situation with that is, like, you know, we gotta be extra careful, because even there was a time with my own child that, you know, there was a pot, like, with pregnancy. The whole pregnancy thing wasn't the best in terms of everything, and we almost had to get an abortion. She off me for bringing this up, but you know what? Screw it. I'm not. She's my kid too. So, but anyway, biologically still, you know, not legally. But anyway, so
you know they're gonna love that. They're gonna love to hear you bring up that, because you know they're gonna take that out of context. Like, oh yes,
it is what it is. But what do you call it? But because there could have been possibly something could happen. Like she could have. But the mother could have died, yada yada. Luckily, none of that happened. But we were getting to the point where we thought we would have had to abort, and you know that situation. I'm walking outside, by the way, so I apologize for dogs barking. But anyway,
Chayton, you're always outside.
I know, right? I could have been inside, but I was like, okay, he's alive. Gives me an excuse to take a walk. It's not too bad out here for once.
And you can get your thoughts out better when you're walking. Like you can really project yourself more.
Yeah. But anyway, so but
Cherry says
thankfully
women don't respect their body. Yeah, that's also true. Yeah, I will agree with that.
So luckily we didn't have to do that, and luckily everything went well. But just like in the idea that if this happened today, like right now, that we wouldn't have that option. We wouldn't. We would just basically have to risk it, which we did anyway.
Yeah.
But again, the fact that we don't have the option now, that's always, because again, not all women can have healthy pregnancies. Some women can die from having childbirth. Some women can, don't have the stuff inside of them to produce.
And also, and I know this may trigger people who had this problem, but there are also women who give birth to children who are unfortunately mentally challenged or mentally handicapped. And I know this is going to trigger, some people watching. But let's just say, in my personal view, I'm debating if I should say this. You know what, fuck it, I'm going to say it. In my personal view,
if you don't, I will, because
I believe that if the kid is too far mentally challenged, you shouldn't bring it to the world. It is not a blessing to do that. It's actually a torturous form of mental insanity for both parents and for the child who is not even aware sometimes of their own existence, because they have such a basic level of intelligence that they will never grow up to become a full-grown human. They will always be, I guess, an infant till the day they die. And you'll have to raise them like that till the day they die. And that's not a life you want to put into this world, because when you put a child to this world, you expect them to grow up eventually and no longer need the assistance of their parental figures, and to go out there and to create their own lives, create their own future. But if you're going to have someone who is either mentally handicapped to the point where they're almost a vegetable, what's the point of giving birth to them? Why? To feel like you've saved? What did you save? You didn't save the person, because the person technically is not even, that individual doesn't even have a personality. It's like it's a shell. It's not even functioning correctly.
And
I'm going to say
it. Body with no brains, basically.
Yeah, it's a body with no brains. And I'm going to say it because I know this is going to trigger, a lot of parents out there, a lot of, siblings they may have, and it may offend them, but this is what it is. Those people who get brought into this world, you're almost putting a personality for them, because if you are the healthy individual who is functional and can handle themselves independently, and the other person is mentally handicapped and can't handle themselves independently, then you are projecting your own thoughts and your own perspectives for that mentally challenged individual who's too far gone.
And also, if there's like siblings around, they may have to have the task of being their caretaker, and it could be to when they get older. And the reason why, and this actually kind of hits home with me, because I had a good friend of mine many years ago. He was born with some type of heart disease. He had to have multiple, like, I don't know if they were transplants. This is like, I was young when this happened. Like I believe he was supposed to only make it to a certain age. He passed that. I believe he got to 18. Granted, it's been like over a decade since he's been gone, but he passed away. But most of his life was just going through those surgeries, and just going through all the bullshit, and sometimes you got to ask yourself, and my mother was good friends with the mother of the child. So it's like, so she saw everything, and it still affects them, even though it's been so long, and siblings she had because of that. So it's not just like if you have something wrong with your head, but wrong inside. And yeah, like he went smile. He tried to be positive in the whole situation, but again, it's just
Yeah, internally he's not. He has to put on a facade that everything is all Gucci, that everything is okay, when realistically it's not. It's devastating. It's almost depressing. Actually, no, it is depressing. They're just masking it.
Yeah, and I'm like personally, like I'm like, again, with that situation, I don't wish on anybody. I'm grateful personally that mine came out healthy and all that stuff. I am, what do you call it, fortunate that I came out like
I rather wish death than to wish something like that on a person. Death would be a little bit more easier, because let me tell you something. When that person or that creature is alive, however, they're not mentally functionable, it's like sending them to hell. And it's like for the rest of their lives, they're going to be unaware of their own existence. Alive, but in barely a functional state. And that, to me, I don't know. As a parent, I'm not a parent, but I did raise two of my nieces. I couldn't bear if anything should have happened where they could have been mentally, like, handicapped from an accident or maybe through birth. I couldn't, like, that would just hurt me to the core. Girl, you finally here. Yeah.
It took me a long time.
Wow,
Yeah.
this first time I've ever.
Yes, first time she. Yeah.
I did try to help her out before.
I'm not a virgin no more.
She's full experience with it.
Yeah.
I'll mute myself.
Mm-hmm. So, girl, what you were saying, because I know you got something to say. I think Chayton was going to say something.
Well, no,
but
go ahead, because I missed, because it took me a little bit to get in here.
Mm-hmm. Well, now you finally know. Just go to the StreamYard link, make sure the microphone hooks up, and then from there, you're all Gucci.
But yeah, it's like, I'm like I said, I'm grateful that I've never had to go through that myself, whether it's from the only close thing I've gone through is a friend. But I can't imagine and again, it's like, it's always that hard decision. Like, are you a bad, like, if like what you said, ZTB, about the whole, Kevin, I've been needing to ask you, is that, like, that's not a hospital gown, is it?
Hmm?
Oh, yeah, it's Kevin is going through something extremely personal. He doesn't want to talk. Yeah, he doesn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Not with him personally, but someone else that is very close to him.
Oh, okay. My apologies. But what ZT was saying earlier about, like, it's always a hard question. Okay, are you a bad, like, if you decide, if you're aware to a certain extent of what the kid is going to go through before you have it, right? You always have that issue in your head, is that, are people going to think differently of you? Are people going to think bad if you decide to abort the kid?
You accidentally press remove, right? Or end.
I'm sorry.
I've done that before, so yeah.
Those are like you go to social services, because that's what happened to me when I was little. So
yeah, it's just a hard, like again, like with even the idea of possibly doing that on my end, I would have missed out on a lot of great years, and with that, some bad ones too, but that's not entirely that you get what I mean. But but what do you call it? It's that thought that if we did decide to do that, it's hard, it's just something that, so I can playing devil's advocate for a second, I could kind of understand from a parent's point of view why they may not want to do it. But on the other hand, it's like besides you having to give up basically your life to 24/7, not just until they're grown, but basically after they're grown.
Until they die. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they'll never be in a state where they'll be independent from their parental figures. They will be essentially an infant for the rest of their lives. And it's upsetting to know that you bring a baby to be a baby their entire life, basically.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all, and anybody could make jokes about this. I don't give a shit, but what you call talk shit, whatever. I don't really care. But for the last almost 3 years, basically on and off, I've been being my mother's caretaker to an extent. She's still functioning mostly, but it's been just in and out of trips in the hospital. She just got back about a couple of days ago again. Some of you in the DMs already knew about this thing or knew about somewhat of the situation. But it's, I don't have an issue with it personally because I'm a firm believer in, they raised you, and all that. But it's hard, it's hard doing and I've even had this experience with my grandfather when he was dealing with Alzheimer's many years back.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing to go through, and the last 6 months personally have been like a roller coaster, ups and downs. And it's just, sometimes it's like, oh yeah, everything's fine. My mom, I go to my mom's for movie night. We watch some movies. She finally got to see Doctor Strange last night, which she loved, the new Doctor Strange. And then there are times where she's telling me basically what to do, what she wants in terms of funeral arrangements. And it's weird. It's a weird situation in a way because
it's a surreal moment because you can't it's something you can't picture until it happens, and so it's like whoa, wow.
Because of the fact that
Lewis, what's happening?
So
the link is in the live chat if you want to join.
So for instance, with when my grandfather passed away, my mother and other family members took care of that. My grandmother, same thing. My father, same thing. But this is kind of the first time that if and whenever it does happen, like I said, I'm hopeful. I've joked with my mother. I said I want her to outlive my grandfather because my grandfather was 77. He was the oldest of the ones before he passed. So I was like, that's my goal.
He was young. That's 77. That's a young age.
And I'll say this, even though his mind was fucking just out the window at that point, strong as a horse, he could 77 years, two things. One, he could beat anybody his ass. Trust me, he's the one that taught me how to fight.
Texas. He's gonna do it.
well, actually, no, my grandfather, from my mom's side, is from Virginia. So technically, I'm of Virginia descent. My dad's from here. My grandpa was in the Air Force, so therefore, they travel.
The military training. Yeah, it's going to be there.
Yeah. So we reside. My mother and grandmother and grandfather was basically retired here, and of course, mom met dad, birds and bees, that's how everything happened. But anyway, but yeah, technically, my family is either from here, from Virginia and West Virginia. So, yeah, so technically I'm from Virginia. I'm a child of Virginia descent, if you will. But what do you call it? Born and raised here, though, so anytime I've gone back to Virginia, which has been very few, but times I've gone back, it is surreal compared to here. But anyway,
complete night and day contrast.
yeah, especially with snow. But anyway,
I love it.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, with everything, like with the different situations like happening, it's always been taken care of. And now it's like when that day comes, I'm going to be the one to take care of it and all that. And that's just something that I've been preparing for, but you can never really prepare for that type of stuff, you know? Because like I lost basically, like my dad passed when I was 18. So it was just after I turned 18. Yeah, it'll be 10 years next year. But what do you call it? It's surreal. It's just something that, like I said, in the last 6 months, there have been highs and lows with everything, and she's doing good. But again, it's like every time I feel like that, I always gotta kind of hold back too many high hopes, because in my mind, it's like one
It
fall
could happen anytime. Yeah.
one issue, you know, it's like back in the hospital, and then here she's in ICU, and then same thing. But she's a trooper. She's that's probably where I get my I know I get my stubbornness from her, but
Resilience. I would say resilience. Your ability to deal with a lot of stress.
Yeah. Like I said, I've kept a lot of that stuff private for multiple reasons, but also because of the stuff that happened last year and all that. But I'm like, I don't fucking care. Like how I look at it is,
that's past. That's in the past. In the past. It's past. Yeah.
But how I look at it, yeah. Believe me or not, make fun of it or not, I don't care. It's just like to the people that like I'm not doing it for sympathy. I'm not doing it for this. I'm sounding like Donald Trump there.
You did. I was about to say.
Not doing it for sympathy. You know, those Hispanics, they're Mexican. They're rapists. And they need to go over the wall.
All right, Tricky. I'll catch you later.
Can I say a couple things?
Absolutely. Yeah, this is the first time, so let's go right ahead, girl. Go ahead.
Yeah, I get tired of seeing these crack babies that the mothers get rid of, and they have baby after baby after baby. I know one girl who's had 9 of them.
Jesus.
And they end up just in the system. They turn 18, they have to go to a home because they cannot take care of themselves. And kind of there personally, you second crack baby, I think the doctors should be taking out the ladies' female parts. I do believe there should be a better form of birth control, not just for women, but for men as well. I know you guys got condoms, you just don't like to use them. A lot of the female birth controls isn't good. There is bad side effects. And then even like myself, at a young age, I was after the doctors. Take out my shit, tie my tubes. I want one, that's it. And I feel, if you can't afford to take care of them, why do you keep having kids?
Sometimes you also have to wonder, some childs can come in a result of the intimacy, and they feel like, oh gosh, I'm compelled to just raise this kid because, we had sex, and now I have a child on the way. So they feel like, we'll just make it do and just see what happens. But sometimes it happens more often than usual. And that's where irresponsibility comes into play. And I think because we're in the heat of fornication, we don't really think of the future. We just think of what's happening right now. And that will be the present. But when the future does happen... Huh?
I think they should make the morning after pill, RU476, a whole lot easier and cheaper.
I think they should, but Big Pharma is not that, kind to us. They're not kind to us. They will not give people the idea of giving that. They should, because then it will help, with kids who don't have parents, kids who end up, just kids who would be born with mental, cognitive problems.
The sluts and the druggies that have a one-night stand.
And that too.
I'm sorry, but I say it the way it is.
I mean, it is what it is, and I think we can't
Exactly.
we can't sugarcoat it. We can't, no pun intended, but pussyfoot
Now, and
around the
I see
situation.
this now. I told you I've been going through some stuff besides all the work and taking care of. I know this stuff firsthand. My father
Yeah.
was a fucking bastard,
Oh wow.
and it made us strong. But he took in these kids later in life, and I know he did it to try to get to heaven. The lady he
PDC, what's
married
happening?
was a nun who was a druggie and a very abusive person, a drunk.
Oh wow.
Her, I know, is in hell. She abused them kids, little kids, 3 years old. She used them as maids and waited on her hand and foot, and she hit him with a cane. I seen this with my own eyes.
Personal
Got
house
into
slaves.
fights over this. And, they got mad at me because I was just as open with them. The one girl he was trying to adopt was born dead, and I said, why did the doctors bring her back? They should have left her dead. And needless to say, both have died, and she has gone right back into the system. The boy that my father did adopt, on the 11th, committed suicide. He had a good thing going, but he had nobody. Technically, legally, he was my brother, but you're talking a 35-year difference in age.
That's a big difference.
It is. And so if he reached out a little bit to us, we would have helped him. But I understand he had nobody, and he had a terrible life. Even after my father died, which I'm sorry, this is going to sound terrible, but I'm glad he died.
Sweet.
I'm glad she died first because his life was a little bit better, but the person that he went to wasn't too much more better. And, we did will him a lot of money. And I thought from what I heard, I thought his head was on straight and he was doing good for himself. And he ended up homeless, and I don't know the whole story. All I know is, we end up burying him, my younger brother and I. And I understand the suicide. He just had nothing, nobody.
And suicide is not a laughing matter, and I know people
no,
like
it's
to.
not.
And they like to, because suicide is not for people who want attention. It's for people who just can't stand it. The ones who do for attention, I don't feel sympathy for, because you want an audience. You just want to get noticed,
Right.
whether you go through it or not. I just don't feel sympathy. But for the ones who do it in the private, or there's like a follow-up case. Yeah, I mean, I can't. Those
can't take
people
it
I feel
anymore.
sorry for. I had
but-
talked with Jack Williams about this, because he doesn't feel sorry. I'm so sorry to put you out there, Jack, but he doesn't feel sorry for suicide victims. I feel sorry for the victims who is going through something privately, internally, and they're struggling, and they just couldn't take it anymore, and they just off themselves. Those are the ones I feel sorry for. But the ones who
just want it for attention.
the ones who just want clout, just go fuck yourself, because why you're gonna take away your life? Why do you want an audience? Why do you want people to see?
Yeah.
And hardship.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you, but I went into a little story about my love of Resident Evil 8 in my Discord server. I'm not going to go into details about it, but anybody who's seen my post about that and kind of why my love of Resident Evil 8 was, because like everybody, when a lot of my friends outside of here, they were kind of looking at me kind of weird because I was.
I know this story. Yeah.
Yeah, I was so excited about it, and I kind of looked at them, and I'm like, I don't know if this is a good way to explain it, but yeah, they were like, because I was like watching the live stream for Capcom, just waiting until I saw some stuff. I was just so excited and all that, but yeah, it's something, you know. Any times I've gone through those situations, you know, I've like I may talk about afterwards, like of my thoughts and all that. Like when what do you call it? I think I've told this before, but I still go see a priest every so often, which is funny because I'm atheist. But again, the priest.
You're leaning towards agnosticism, where you're starting to follow suit to a belief of a deity, but you don't believe in organized faith or organized belief of religion, but you feel like there is some like outer spiritual essence or power that can, I guess, bless you in that way.
Well, I also kind of I call it kind of my therapy session in a way. Plus, I've known the guy since I was a kid, back when I was a Catholic, and he's like, it's fine. My mom still to this day wants to see the poetry I wrote.
All of you equals racist. Okay, Canadian Maple Leaf, thank you for your comment.
But
you're welcome to come in here if you want to, you know, have an opinion about this.
But I was my mom still wants to see my poetry I've written. I told her no.
Do you wear a condom? You know?
Huh?
Otherwise, shut up.
Oh, I was just saying, I do.
Sorry, not you, Chayton.
Oh.
Faster Moon, what's up? What's up? Come in the chat if you want to state your opinions about abortion. Yeah,
unless
we're going there.
They don't want to, you know, now I don't mean all guys, but, you know, you ask them to wear a condom. Oh, I'm not putting one of them on. You know, they don't want to take any responsibility to their body fluid, to their sperm.
And which always perplexes me, because they expect the women to be on control. They expect the women to be on birth control. But here's the thing. Wouldn't abortion help with that situation too? I mean, technically the baby's not going to be a human being until 7 months, 7 or 8 months, 6.5 if you're pushing it, but really 7 or 8 months. So
if it can't live outside the body without any support, any life support, then it's not a baby. It's not a human.
It's a creature, but it's not a human. It's developing to become a human. Right. And when you get an abortion, they're not killing an 8th-month term baby and murdering it, as what these Republicans would like to say. No offense. It's more so of it's an undeveloped creature that's inside that can possibly, through healthy pregnancy, turn into a human. But for now, it's more like you see how, you know, tadpoles or like salamanders, that's how it looks like. Okay, if you ever seen how a tadpole or salamander looks like when it's in its baby state, that's how humans look like. We share a lot with amphibians and reptiles. It's true, we do. In that state.
I know some states have the 12-week rule. I'm sorry, I never knew. I still was bleeding. You know,
wow.
12 weeks. So, you know, you don't know. I mean, some people do, but a lot of women don't.
They don't.
You know,
and sometimes the life could be a bitch because they have responsibilities, you know, money, finance, time. You know, exactly. Who's going to raise the kid? Who's going to take care of the kid? You know, and sometimes the father or the mom don't even want the kid. So
exactly.
You know, it comes to that state. I'm sorry to put anyone's business out there, but it comes to that
they have
state
them just for extra welfare money.
And I see that a lot in New York City.
Exactly.
And it's happening too many
times. And that's
times.
not right. If you're on welfare, 2 kids, you get no more welfare after that.
No, not in New York State. They don't do that.
Not for the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, the 6th. No.
The more kids you have, the more income the government can give you.
The more income of everything. How is that right? And yet pay no tax.
And that's how it is. Yeah. It's a very controversial topic, but I love these kind of topics because they go in on it, and we can have a, you know, engaging discussion, you know.
Well, there's a question, like, so, like with the whole abortion, like, okay, like I've used Plan B a few times in my, well, actually,
Is that
only
the
twice.
hope you pulled out in time?
Well, like,
I'm joking.
Oh, I know.
I do have a sense of humor.
Oh, there was once, I think last time I got high, I learned not to, because I always say my pull-out game was on point, but I've learned not to get drunk and high while having sex, because my pull-out game is kaput after that. Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna, because your body is already in an intoxicated state, so you're gonna, you know what I mean, and with pleasure and you know what I mean, like you're gonna, yeah.
The swimmer will leak out.
Yeah, I remember when we were doing everything, then we kind of finally realized after a few seconds that, oh shit, I can't. Luckily, she wasn't pissed at me. I offered to buy her the Plan B because again, we weren't really dating either. We were just should have been
swallow.
my sign to wear a condom.
I heard what you said, girl, and she should. Oh God.
I know it. Usually she did, or she took the money shot on her ass. So it's like either way, it was like. But yeah, I learned after that. I was like, okay, I need to remember never to get high and drunk if I ever have unprotected sex. But
lesson to everybody who's getting into it.
Yeah, because you think your pull-out game's on point. It may be, but once you got a few bottles in and a fucking maybe a little bit of that kush, a good kush, you're gonna think otherwise. You may not be thinking at all.
The Dutchie says another story. Yeah.
So like, but yeah, we're like, it was funny. We're still cool and all that stuff. But it was like, yeah, like the next day I went to go get, and we're both lucky. I had my income tax came in that night. Well, if it did, I wouldn't have been able to Uber over there to her and back. So either way, but anyway, yeah. So yeah, that was that. So thank goodness for Plan B. But yeah, that was probably the last time that type of thing happened. I do remember my best friend. He was pounding this one chick, and he didn't wear a condom, and he came in her, which wasn't the best move. Luckily, he basically ordered her to go and get a Plan B. Which she did. He had me make sure she took it. What he doesn't, still to this day, he doesn't know that I fucked her before him, because it was an ex of his.
Well, if he's watching, he knows now.
Oh yeah, but he does. I don't think he even knows about this. But if it is,
well, I can't blame him, because I do see women who lie.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, too many.
Or they poke a hole in the condom.
And that chick, yeah. I was very careful when
that way.
Yeah, when I fucked her, which is funny, just again in regards to the situation. But when I fucked her,
raw and uncut.
I made sure I was the one that got the condom. I had it tucked away somewhere high that she couldn't get to it, even if less that she probably wouldn't even know it was there.
Keep it with you at all times, and observe it.
I went out and I begged for my son.
Whether I'm with my girlfriend, or whether I'm single and just going out and possibly going to get lucky, I always have one or two in my wallet. I always do. I keep that as almost as close as I keep my ID, not my social security card, because last time I kept it close, I lost it. So yeah.
Oh damn.
But yeah, I went to the restaurant. I think it was my first day at the job I was working at the time.
Well, whoever finds it, they're gonna be one lucky person if they're, an illegal immigrant.
Oh, be like, oh yeah, Tate and Log. I like that name. That'll be my new name now. Luckily, if I would have, luckily my credit score as well. My credit score shit anyways, but they enrolled into a bad credit score. So
there you go, the American dream. I'm just joking.
But yeah, no, I was fucking. Because yeah, that girl, like, she was like she moved, like, it was during the pandemic. She moved down here, or she came back here from, ironically, Brownsville. She doesn't live there anymore, but I think that's funny now in hindsight. But anyway, so she came down there. Yeah, she was going to. I know Punta out there may not appreciate it, but Punta, whatever the fuck it's called. Anyway,
Sunrise. Yeah,
I'm showing my whiteness. I apologize, but anyway, but what do you call it? Yeah, when she came down here, she needed somewhere to stay, so I offered my place, right, whatnot, and I gave her like 3 rules, and there were simple rules to follow. I said, number 1, if you're going out, because she was a party girl, I think she was 21 or 22. This is back in 2020. So anyway, I gave her 3 rules. 1, if she was going out to party, give me some type of timetable that you're going to be home, because I stay up late, as you can tell by right now, but sometimes I may pass out, so I need to at least to have that. Number 2, don't bring anybody over that I don't know, and don't bring anybody over that I do know without my permission, just because I'm very selective on who knows where I live.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, your home is not like a vacancy for anyone to come in here. Legally, she should respect the fact that that's you and that person.
Yeah, and I didn't charge her for the time. The only thing I basically asked of her is if she could maybe sometimes pay for the food that we get. That was about it. I wasn't, but so anyway, she violated at least
more
2
than
of those.
fair.
Yeah, she violated 2 of the 3 rules, which hence brings in my friend, because he wanted to fuck her because she was the only chick that he didn't get to fully fuck, because at the time she was too tight and he was too big according to him. So anyway, so she brought him over, and of course I knew what was going to happen.
No.
And but the dumbass fucking decided to do the deed inside of her, and of course I was smarter, but again he still doesn't know. But I don't think no one actually knows who he is, so I don't have to worry about this relaying back to him. But anyway, if he sees this, sorry, not really. Anyway. So, back to the whole situation. Oh, I forgot to mention, he made her pay for the Plan B too.
Oh, that's messed up. That's some
Should've went
well, he's the type of, I pay for mine, but he's the type of guy who basically says he's God's gift to women. My girlfriend, I bring that up to her, and she laughs every time I say it. My best friend, God's gift to women. He's
funny because if she paid for it, what if she didn't pay for it? What if she just fuck it, I'm just gonna keep the baby?
Which is why he had, I was there. Plus, we went to Walmart. I was there also. I had an ulterior motive. I wasn't just going there to make sure she got it. I was going to buy some Blu-rays. So I was like, okay, I'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
There we go.
And I can go get, I think I got Knives Out and Cobra and something else. But yeah, that was basically. Let's see.
And how would he feel about a form of birth control for men?
My friend?
Not a condom, but a different form of sperm killing birth control for men.
Mm-hmm. Basically shooting blanks. Shooting blanks. Or just shooting clear liquid instead of white, ooze.
Instead of,
live swimmers.
Yeah.
I've personally with me, I've actually thought about it myself, but I'm like, who knows? In 5 years, my mind may change, and her mind may change, or whatnot. So, I'd say if I don't have any kids by the time I'm at least in my early 30s, I may think about doing that. But again, that's just a thought.
Which is a thing. Yeah, male birth control is a thing. They can actually make your semen infertile temporarily, as long as you keep taking the medication.
Oh, they have a thing where you could do that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't last that long, because eventually your sperm, because your testicles always regenerate semen and the sperm cells. So you have to keep taking the pills in order to ensure that the sperm doesn't regenerate, or the semen doesn't. The semen grows, but the sperm inside, the little, it doesn't regenerate. So they have to keep taking it. You have to keep taking it.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Yeah,
Oh, look
male
at
birth control.
I did, yeah. But yeah, like, but back to the matter at hand. 'Cause that was a huge, dirty segue. And oh, you know about me, I segue, and sometimes it's some very
No,
dirty.
but it relates to the topic of abortion
Yeah, I was
because
gonna say, it did relate to-
Exactly.
Will, what's going on? We're talking about it, so we'll wait for Chayton to make his point, then we'll listen to what you have to say.
Yeah, like as far as like everything, like
What's being talked about?
Abortion.
Oh, abortion. Yeah, fuck all that shit. I'm anti-abortion.
Well, we're gonna get into that right after Chayton makes his point. So I kind
Does
of
my
like this
mic
'cause
sound? Does my mic sound?
your mic
like
always sounds
shit?
the same. It sounds the same,
All
like
right.
always.
All
Yeah,
right.
nothing to worry about. You just rewatch it afterwards. But we're gonna let Chayton make his point, and then after that, we're gonna let Will make his point. And if Kevin
Yeah,
wants to make a point, we can have Kevin.
besides like the whole matter with the whole law term, like we
Okay.
talked about earlier. That's
Woo!
the
It just coming strong. Omega Magic, what's
Of course,
happening?
anytime I'm here, he comes hard.
Hey, this time I came for you. Last time you came for me, asshole.
Wow, X-rated.
Yeah.
But
Late
like
night.
with the whole situation, like I said, like with this being, I do believe this is going to be the first of certain laws being overturned. The only question is what comes next, and what also we talked about earlier. I said ZTV asked the question: do you think it's either going to be gun control or gay marriage? I actually believe it would be gay marriage if I was.
Yeah, I
No,
said
it-
that.
it would
I said
be-
that.
It would be gun control. If you're asking me the question, it's gonna be. I'm surprised gun control didn't come first because they've been trying for years.
I
years
am.
years and years.
That is
to get their
in the
shit.
Constitution. Amendment.
Say, Zub
Second
ZTB, are
Amendment.
you mad at me, Chayton? Well, listen, listen, let me just say this, Andrew. Whatever you do when it comes to stalking people, I mean, come on, you know better, man. I'm not
Who's
mad. That's Andrew Mavidad. I'm not mad that you partake in the whole stalking people with Hero and what have, but I'm disappointed that that you never said anything. Like Mason was the only one that actually said something, and it is what it is, though.
Show your class.
You can come to my channel, but it is what it is. I have no problem, but I'm just disappointed. That's how I feel.
But yeah, that's like I am too, to be honest, Will, because I was thinking that was going to be, especially with the shooting that happened in Uvalde when everybody was going up in arms about that recently. I am actually shocked that that wasn't really the main focal point, but now, and what sucks now, and this is the thing that
I'm gonna have to mute Will a little bit.
I apologize. I'm outside as usual. That's my gimmick now. But anyway,
It wasn't me. It was him.
but
I'm indoors.
Oh, okay.
What,
I thought it was Will.
what I think what angers me more than anything is that this whole situation, from what I've seen so far, and I've not kept up with every bit of details, but this is kind of taken more of control over the whole Uvalde thing. Like now it's not, conspiracy theory 10 hat on right now. Maybe they did this as distraction to kind of move away from the gun control. But
I thought he had a problem with anti-abortion.
I'm pretty sure those kids' all those Uvalde kids in all those kids in Uvalde, if their names were Second Amendment, I'm pretty sure they would jump in to protect that.
No, but I'm just wondering. Like, there was supposed to be a counterpoint between him and I. I don't know what his point is. What are you doing?
Oh,
Where are we going with this?
well, that's
No,
my statement.
my point is that about the whole gun control
I
thing.
got
when you
asked
said
about abortion. Roe v. Wade,
Mhm.
and now I'm pro life. Always have been, always will be. Are there certain exceptions? Absolutely. Absolutely. But you're supposed to be the counterpoint for, I guess, you were saying something before I come in. So what the fuck were you saying before I come in?
Well, we were talking about a lot of different things regarding also the life of some people who are, let's say, not all there mentally. They're basically a vegetable. That was one part of that what we were talking about.
Sake.
Yeah,
that's a whole nother fucking topic in of itself. But.
No, but it's relate back to the topic at hand, because there are kids that are born mentally challenged and to the point where they're basically a baby for the rest of their lives, even from their death until they die. You know, so is that fair to bring those kids to the life just because you just want to have them as an ornament or admiration for, hey, look what I created, but it can't be independent. It can't grow to become independent. And I think it's unfair to the creation.
I see that point. And I feel that point. I agree. I feel the same way towards
solves that, you know. I always say abortion is not about.
You have to give life a chance. You have to give life a chance, because there have been so many fucking cases where those scenarios that you just pointed out and described have, you know, somehow, some way, by the miracle of, if you want to call it God or not, they've been fixed. And medical science is always evolving.
Until that's the case, for when we can undo mental retard, I'm not gonna beat around the bush when I say this. I know it's gonna offend people, but until we solve the case of mental retardation, and physical handicap. Well, see, being physically handicapped could be bearable because mentally they're still there.
We have them both together, and you got parts missing.
Yeah, and then some people have both.
It cannot be fixed, and it's seen on ultrasound.
Yeah,
it's seen on an ultrasound.
The interesting part about it is
you don't want to have the parent.
When women don't go for their normal checkups.
Yeah, and one thing is a parent crying all the time, looking at the condition of their child, blaming themselves, resorting to alcohol. No pun intended, Will. But no offense, actually.
Whatever. I'll take a drink just because you said that.
Resorting to alcoholism or heavy drug use. Sorry, Omega.
Salud.
To try to bear with the reality that they're living with their child, you know, because your parents, you want to.
It's rough.
As your child, you want to have your child grow and blossom and have a normal-ish life. You know, I put that in quotations. But just have a life. Yeah.
I got. That's not necessarily it's not a death sentence. You know what I mean?
All right, Jayden, thank you for coming in. Thank you for sharing your opinion.
I got bad.
Always a pleasure.
He left. No, fuck that. He needs to come back. No, fuck that. He needs to come back. I only come in here because he said he had a counterpoint. Now he leaves. So his fucking counterpoint wasn't a counterpoint at all. It was just your talking point. All right, fuck it. I'd rather talk to ZTB anyways. Let's go.
Okay, here we go. State your counterpoint.
Great. It's a 2-on-1. I guess that's a 2-on-1 because I'm on ZTB's side on this one.
That's fine. I don't have a problem with
that. We're teammates. But I'm not gonna. We're not. This ain't no game. I'm not gonna game jump you. I can solo you. I'm just joking.
Come on, Will could take it rough.
Fantasize about it, but please don't do it.
Will takes it rough all the time.
I'm not a willing participant. All right, so just stop with that shit.
Okay. Well, sorry.
But I'm saying, look, I understand. I'm not completely anti-abortion. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all, motherfuckers. Do you not listen to me?
Well, I mean, I understand, but you know, the law is not completely not anti-abortion. It's either you're for abortion or you're not for abortion. Legalization
state
versus
state, and we have 51 states now, so it's up to the state to decide now.
But if look at a lot. A Caucasian man and a black man double teaming a white dude.
What the fuck's going on?
I would say. I would
I got that
say.
too.
Insane.
I just got that
it,
too. I got
it,
my
yeah.
Chase to say. I really did got my Chase to say that too. It's funny.
Yeah, yeah.
No, Will,
I'm
but
the
you
cracker
have
here.
7 new states that's going to ban abortion. That's coming up to ban abortion. That's leaning that way, which
It's
is
up
going
to
to
them.
put it
And
as
they're
I
all
believe
Confederate.
is right. So
That's not
what's going to
true.
end up happening is it's going to be coat hanger abortions, where then the women is going to really hurt themselves bad.
Well, here's the thing. All right, here's the thing. So if they're not rape victims or anything of that nature, right? Something of that nature, then why the fuck are they fucking without contraception? We have contraception, we have birth control, we have all these things that
Do you use
with the
condom?
day after pill, right? We have all
Oh,
these
wait,
things.
hold on, guys. This
We
is the
have all
first
these
time
things.
Dragon
Hold on a
heard
second. I
Cherry's
will answer that
voice.
question. We will answer that question in a second. But what I'm pointing out is you wanted a counterpoint. This is the counterpoint. There are very, very, very many ways to avoid getting pregnant in the first fucking place. Do these people exercise those? No, they don't. All right. Outside of rape and what have you. So, I got pregnant. I decided to go party one night, right? All right. Here's the fucking other end of the spectrum. Okay. I decided to go party. Guess what? I got laid. Oh, he fucked my brains out. Oh shit!
So whose
2 days
fault is
later,
that? Is
I'm
that the women?
pregnant. That's the women.
Is that
Yes.
the woman or the man?
I'll give you the other end of the spectrum too.
I think that's both.
I'll give
I
the
think
other
that's
end.
both.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It is both.
We're
That's
all
what I'm
horny.
portraying.
We're
I'm
all
portraying
horny.
one. Absolutely, aren't we all?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Right. Everybody wants.
But let's
to
get
fuck,
Will,
right?
because I don't want
But
to
it's only
dominate, because
Well, he
only
fucked
hold
up
on,
my
hold on,
whole
hold on,
point,
guys.
and he did it on
Hold
purpose.
on, hold on. Okay, guys,
It's
hold
all
on,
right.
hold on. I'm gonna let Will make his point, because we're gonna make this a fair match. Because then people are gonna say, "Oh,
Yeah.
we see how
You
ZTB is
made-
taking
all
over
right,
one
here.
side." Let's make it fair.
Your choice, all right, your choice, your body, right? Well, you made a choice with your body, and you let somebody put the key into the key lock, and it just so happens it unlocked the fucking door. Oh, it just
Okay,
happened,
but
and now,
what
oh my
about-
God, it wasn't a door that you wanted open, but guess what? It's open now. You made a choice, but guess what? At that point in time, it's not your fucking choice anymore. It's the man's choice as well.
But
Like
did the
he
man
just
put a
said, it
condom
goes
on?
both ways. Did you ask him to?
No,
Yeah.
but see, here's the
You
thing.
did.
9 times out of 10,
Bullshit.
9 times out of 10, I'm gonna say this, Mr. Golsey, promise me. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna, make this clear. Let's be real here, Will. Okay. Most men who want some pussy ain't gonna have it for a kid. They're not going to the club to raise a family. No men are going out to do that, really. If a
That's
man wants to
true.
raise a family, he's gonna put a ring on it, or he's gonna invest to start a family with that said person. When a man goes to a club and
But
fuck
you
a
know
bitch,
what?
he's going there to
There's
get
a
his
whole
Mac
lot-
on, and that's it. And the next
ZTV.
person he's gonna go.
ZTV, will you agree with me that there's a whole lot more men out there that once that responsibility is put on them, that they will fucking take the mantle and
They
do it?
would,
Or
but
you
it's not their.
disagree?
Well, I wouldn't say there's a whole lot, because taking accountability and sticking to it are two different things. They'll may say they take accountability to it, but then when the time comes, because I've seen this, when the time comes to raise a child, they won't be in that child's life. They'll
All right.
say they'll
All right.
they'll
So let's
visit, but they won't.
counterpoint.
I have
It'll
two
be
strong
messy on a
points.
mother.
I'll let CTB go.
Let me make my counterpoint, and then you can
Okay.
go, Omega. All right, and I'll mute myself. All right.
No, we're
here's
not
the
ganging up on
counterpoint.
people.
Let's say it's different.
Lennon,
right?
what's going
Let's say-
on? What's happening?
What's going on, Lennon?
The link is
Let's
in
say-
the live chat.
Cheyenne,
can
do you hear
join.
that?
Let's say it's in
Dragon, I'm surprised you didn't hear
reverse, right?
Cherry is you hearing for the first time.
Well,
Cherry got excited when I came in. That's all right. That's nothing out of the normal. But
It's two powerful people battling. I love it. It's like Dragon Ball Z. Go ahead.
but here's the reverse. All right. Let's say the woman goes to the man after a one night stand, right? And she says to him, "I'm pregnant." And man says, "I don't want nothing to do with the kid. I don't know what. You could do whatever the fuck you want, right?" She says, "I'm keeping the kid and I'm taking your money. Is that okay?"
No, it's not.
It's not okay. Right. It's not okay. But in that situation, there's nothing you can do because she's already keeping it. What you gonna do? Punch her stomach? Punch. What you gonna do?
No, that's not. No. I'm saying like that's something that happens all the time.
All the time.
I'm having this baby and it's gonna have your name and you're gonna be paying money for the rest of your life.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing.
But that's the thing.
Then you would have to change. You would have to change parental laws in the United States of America, and that's a whole nother topic.
That's right.
That would be another situation.
That's right.
Because a man and a woman, when it comes to carrying a child in labor, the women are the ones carrying the child for 8 to 9 months.
Okay.
If that.
So my
the
point
men are
is,
free
to.
you
So why is it okay for the woman to decide I'm aborting this life? What if the man is happy? Well, that's, oh my God, we're gonna have
do
a kid.
agree that women should be responsible with telling the individual if they can find it, because 9 times out of 10 they don't even know who fucked them or who exactly. Look at Maury. Who's the baby daddy?
You're right.
That's a different. So they can't. They're looking for the baby
kids
daddy.
That they already have. Each one is by a different man.
Yeah.
So do you really want to go between them legs without?
Well, maybe that applies.
20
for you,
men.
But
I
not
will
for
never
every
forget.
other
I was
woman
watching
on the
Maury
planet,
Povich,
if you are
and 20 men. 20 men was having sex with this one
You don't
woman.
sound like a woman.
20 men. 20 men. 20 men. I don't even know how that's possible, but yeah.
Right. It's my move.
Megan.
All right. Well,
do you want to go with that woman with you not taking some form of birth control?
There is a birth control. Actually, I have it right here. I'm gonna share it. Hold on, guys. Wait. Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. Where is it? There it is. Oh, share. There we go. This is 3 men who joined the clinical trials to try male birth control pills. Describes from weight gain to mild euphoria, which is basically a high feeling. It prevents guys from getting a vasectomy, which is permanently damaging the testicles. 2 experimental male birth control pills are 1 step closer to hitting the market after a trial showed that they work to suppress sperm reduction. Remember what I talked to you about? And it received high marks from men who try them. So there is birth control for men. It's just it's not in the public market. You have to get it through either prescription or private, but there is for men. It's just not available in clinical, like going over the counter to get it,
But now, engineers must contend not with the landfill.
But it's there. You just got to get a prescription for it.
Omega, the floor is yours.
Okay. Oh, wow. Actually, I've drama with another channel based upon his whole discretion. But here's the thing. I'm gonna just be frank about abortion. It is. I mean, I am for abortion, even though, while at the same time I can acknowledge it is murder. Because a life is being taken away, right? But I mean, we're just going with that because, I just have a series of questions to ask you. With that being said, do you believe us as humans have a right to kill based upon our own discretion?
I mean, for me, it's not really a life yet.
No, I'm asking Will a quick question.
Okay.
You're asking me the question? What, just to kill on discretion?
Based upon your own discretion. For what?
Just kill somebody? Just go out and kill somebody? No, absolutely not.
Based upon your own discretion.
That'll be the movie The Purge.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Okay.
Hold on, wait a minute. What did you just say?
Like based upon your own discretion, like
no. ZTB, throw a little.
I said that'll be the movie The Purge.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
And that could happen. That's the scary part.
I'm looking at it from a psychological aspect because you do realize humans exercise this a lot, even if it's against the law.
Absolutely.
Like if someone breaks into your house, guess what? People feel like, hey, I should kill this motherfucker for breaking into my house, right?
Yeah, but how in the fuck? This is the thing that I can't grasp, and
that's what happened to the Red Power Ranger. That's why he's in jail for life.
I'm not female. Wow. I'm not female.
Yeah, he chopped someone in half.
But what I do know is this. Because I'm assuming that your argument is
Lennon
going to lead
says, "Hey,
into
Will."
what we were talking about. What's up, Lennon?
Of course it is.
All right, so it takes two to make a life.
Okay.
Why does it take one to end it?
Because
I mean, that
two are
scenario
not
could be
carrying the
applied to it.
child.
That's
One
I'm s-
person is carrying the child, and
I
that
mean,
one
that-
all
person
right.
is.
So
Again,
so,
okay, again,
so
to answer that,
one
to answer your
creates.
question, again, it goes back to my
then
main
you're
point. Hold on.
separating. You're separating now. So that means the one that creates life is not significant.
They're significant, but they have different properties in the way how
So
labor
they
is
have
being
no
made.
say. They
Do
no
have a
say in
say.
the manner?
Absolutely. No, I fully agree that
Okay.
if abortion should have a law where they state that, have you talked with the person, the father of the, the
Okay.
child that you want to abort? Because they should ask these questions legally beforehand,
Absolutely.
and get a verification, or at least get a paternity test to confirm who's the father.
Absolutely.
I do
100%.
believe that if there's any sort of, and I think that's another reason why a lot of Republicans are against abortion, is because they don't consult the person in question doesn't consult the father. But here's my thing: if two parties are consulted, wouldn't that make it more healthier for the abortion to be passed? I mean, I think a lot of it, if that's not if it's for pro-life, right? Then you would have no problem like having bastard children. No offense. And if that's the case, then these kids are not going to have the correct family, because not all the time family is, raised with these children
But that's
correctly.
not the kid's fault. That's not the kid's fault.
And that's the parents.
I'm
exactly.
sure you grew up in a broken home.
No, I did not. I actually grew up in a very. I don't want to go into further, but I actually grew
Well,
up
you
in a
don't
very.
have to.
Yeah.
I mean, my whole point is like people on a daily basis. Based from looking at it from a psychological lens. People all the time choose to kill based upon their own discretion by any means that they feel at the time. Right?
If
Hold on.
the kid,
hold on.
I think. Hold on.
What
Let
are you
me just say this.
Hold on.
Let me just say this. Hold on. Let me just say this. Let me just say this real quick, and I'll let you go. I think that as parents, you need to be responsible of the kid's future. And if you know there is no good, if you cannot see from the present a good outcome for that kid's future, then I don't think you should bring that kid to the world simply because you see the circumstances at hand beforehand when you're already pregnant.
Good point.
You see that. If you know the circumstances are not going to be well, you don't want to end up like the movie Precious, where Precious is abused by her mom and get raped by her father twice, and have two bastard kids twice. So you don't want that.
But what if one sees it that way and the other sees it the other way? Let's say that, for argument's sake, let's say that the father doesn't want the kid, right? But the mother says, no, fuck that. I'm having this fucking kid. You don't have to.
And then this is where child support comes into play.
Okay, let me finish then. Fuck you. There's going to be potential in this kid. And I'm having this kid. And I'm making the conscious decision without you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that not put power in the fucking female again? Again, it has to be a 50-50 decision, much like it should be with everything, whether it be divorce or what have you, any type of civil relation that you have.
Well, one party is going to gain
What
the
is
rights.
the problem?
Well, see, it's a double standard, but also when it comes down to a 50-50 decision, one decision has to be the final decision, right? So they choose the female because the female's the one who is laboring the child and raising it in them.
But
the father is
she's
not.
also the one, more often than not, that welcomed the inception of the fucking semen
Absolutely.
into the womb.
100%.
Right? More often than not every time. No, not 100%. Close to, but let's go 75.
Well,
Because
not
again,
counting
like I
rape
said,
situations. Yeah, well,
exactly.
obviously, yeah.
That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
we're going to exclude, but
There
we're not
are
referring
exceptions,
to that. Mm-hmm.
And I'm not coming at
We're talking
you
about
guys
consensual
from a far,
sex. Consensual
Yes.
sex.
All right,
Yeah.
all right, good. I was just gonna say, don't fucking take
consensual.
me for being
Yeah.
coming
No, it's
from a
just
far right
conversation.
fucking point of view.
Yeah.
This is my
Oh
own
no,
personal
nobody.
point of view.
And that's why I love these conversations, because we can get into depth and we can analyze and microanalyze things that
Yeah.
What about
most
the
people.
man that has kids with six different women, doesn't spend not a single minute with each one of them. Do those children deserve that?
And I've seen that.
Are they getting paid? Are the moms getting paid?
I just have about to finish my point. I mean, psychologically,
If the moms
just like
are getting paid, then they're all good.
Yeah.
Not all the
Obligation
time,
have been
because
fulfilled.
even though they're getting financial compensation, they're not getting love.
Here's the thing. All right, I got a counter argument for that one. Why would you, after the first one, he didn't pay you? Why would you do it again and again and again and again? Why would you do it six times?
Why would you?
You want to?
And that would be a decision, but it could be from six different baby daddies, like Maury.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
No,
but that would be a
six
stupid
different
decision
women
on the person who's doing it. You know,
right, with six different women.
Yeah, that means six different men as well, right?
Right.
No, same man.
Oh, the same man.
Same man, but six different women, which is very common.
Well, have you seen the end for the people that do that shit? It's not always a good one. They end up
Exactly.
Well, that's my fucking point. They make that decision and they suffer for it. You understand? It should happen equally for the other side. Do you understand?
But see, wouldn't this further kind of brings abortion to the high point? Like, it will solve both problems if both people who conceive the child are not ready to raise a child. Then wouldn't abortion be,
more
suited for the situation?
Maybe it's just me, but if somebody who says you're not aborting, like a man says to the woman, do not do that, that's my child, that means he intends to be in that life.
Okay. Hold on. So if that's the case, then that man is, since if the woman doesn't want the child, as soon as she has the child, the woman has every right to give the child away to the man. If that's the case.
Okay, I have a new question. I have a new question for Will.
Then we have that.
I agree.
All right, because I feel like we're gonna bring up. I feel like I don't know where this conversation is gonna go, but I have a question for Will. If there was,
it's very fun and ugly, and I love it.
I know, but like, if there were more evidence of women engaging in abortion responsibly, and by responsibly, let's say more abortions happen because of due to rape and incest, or maybe just a one-night booty call with a stranger that inadvertently, oopsie doodled in their strudel.
I think we already talked about that one.
Okay, if there were more cases
Dragging
of that happening, yeah, if there was something to prove that, hey, women are engaging in abortion responsibly and from that nature, as opposed to your example that you brought up, such as like, I mean, would you be for abortion?
I think. Fuck. All right, you guys are gonna hate me for this one. I don't care.
We share it. We're not circle jerking. This ain't Reddit.
Well, I'm going to. All right. I think that I think women use abortion as a shield. As a shield. I could do whatever the fuck I want. And if I get pregnant, so what?
Some women do that. Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Some women do that.
That's a fucking thing. That's a fucking thing.
So you also agree that it's a form of power. It's a form of I
will say this. I'll go so far as
I'm not saying I agree with it. It should not be used as a form of.
I'm not trying to fucking turn anybody to my side. I'm just giving my point of view. What I'm trying to say is this: what you're seeing now, where they're threatening houses and this, that, and all the other fucking thing, they're standing in front. I'll kill you if you do this. Da 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 da.
Yeah, right? I don't agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's bullshit.
That's radicalism.
Those are the ones. Right.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I'm talking
That's a separate
about.
Conversation.
Those are the ones that had abortions for the wrong fucking reasons. These are the ones I'm talking
Which
about.
is why instead of banning abortion, they should just change up the laws
They're
with
trying
getting an
to
abortion.
vindicate themselves because they feel ashamed of something that they did not only to themselves but to somebody else, and then take that somebody else into the equation. Okay, that's where
rather than banning abortion altogether, you should just change up the policies to get an abortion to where it's not as easy as just simply walking into the clinic, signing your name and your information, and then they'll get the job done. They should have at least some sort of policies that will allow, a both-sided leaning situation to where the doctors or the clinic, the people who are doing, could have a better grasp of what's going on and how they're going to if they're going to perform it on that person without any consequences to the relationships of the individual in question. And I think that's what they should do. That's what they should have done. But I also view that a lot of these people who voted against abortion, a lot of them, I'm going to keep it real with you, they don't like the fact that women have power like that.
Any power.
Do you know throughout history,
one word for you, Mo, the manosphere. That's enough
I
for
don't
you
even
to
know what that's supposed to mean.
Yeah. Manosphere is like MGTOW. So if you know the MGTOW community, you would know that these are men who view themselves as being superior, and women, they feel like women are dominating them, and
it's
they
the
want
worst
to,
gay club ever, basically.
It's an incel club. They're not, and some of them they're not even gay. They like women, but they just can't stand the fact that women are getting to the equality level of men. And they're little snowflakes. They're simps. I mean, not simps. They're little snowflakes.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah. And they also look at men like to get pussy. They'll be like, if you do anything, they're the type of men that basically they expect pussy if you're anything close to being.
Like,
nice
I'm gonna call this fucker out. I don't give a fuck. He's I don't care. Elder is one of them. Okay, that's the kind of
Like if you open a door for a chick, guess what? We're fucking.
Before you get me started on this shit.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I was on a mega snooze.
Elder is part of the manosphere, and so is Arthur. But Elder, in particularly,
all right,
he mentions it constantly.
I will fucking say this before I go take my piss. I will say this about that man: there is not an ounce of manhood inside that fucking man. So for him to be pro man this and pro man that, there is no testosterone inside of that fucking body. Tell him I fucking said it if he doesn't fucking hear it now.
Arthur watches my shit all the time.
Hey, man, well, you fucking, I've already said it fucking 300, 400, 500 fucking times. I stand firm on that shit, and the proof is on my fucking side. When a fucking one woman has scarred you so fucking bad in your life where you cannot have a relationship with another woman or any type of intimate reaction with a woman, you'd rather fucking fornicate with a fucking plastic made doll from fucking China.
Marry it. He married it. He legally married it.
Right. Have an intimate relationship mentally and physically with an inanimate object that has no brain, that feels no intimacy, who feels nothing.
Black Mirror kind of shit.
It's like fucking your fucking kitchen table.
I feel like you're close.
PS5.
I mean, that's the normal.
Fuck, man.
That's the normal.
No. That's too intelligent because the PS5 has a brain, has a CPU.
The interesting thing about it is, I feel like it's not even a random. I mean, yes, you guys are close as far as pointing out it's a girl that fucked them over, but I feel like you guys got the wrong type of girl. I feel like the girl that really fucked them over is their mother.
Yeah, it's a lot of abuse, household abuse coming. Lennon made this comment here: a guy who fucks a woman and gets pregnant and refuses to man up and be in the child's life or coward. Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
I mean, the hurt that I've seen from guys from the manosphere is like, no, I mean, because I've experienced heartbreak. I'm experiencing a heartbreak right now, but like, I feel like no hard breakup can create these type of men. Like I'm cool with Elder, but no offense, Elder. I'm kind of agree with him on the same note. Even though I'm cool with you, if you have a problem with that, I'll deal with you when I deal with you, I guess. But like,
if he has a problem with it, then he's just not a good person. Because as a friend, you should respect the other friend's point of view and deposition. If they disagree with it, then you shouldn't say "fuck you." I hope you die, and you're not a real friend because nobody wants that. No, people want people with different opinions and respect the other individual in question.
Yeah, but I honestly truly believe a hurt to that degree cannot be caused by some random girl that you dated. It has to be caused by a significant female in your life that you really, really trust and is really in your life and you engage with consistently. And that female is something that average girl that you dated or banged or married overrules. And who's left? Your mother or maybe grandmother. Like I just feel like
definitely some relationship trauma happened with him, and that's why it traumatized him enough so that way he won't end up with any women because he don't want any biological women.
Even if I were to agree with that, I feel like at best, like it will hurt.
Or trans women.
Okay, well, okay. I even throw it. I don't care even if he found out the girl that he fell in love with was trans. I'm willing to believe that, like, no matter how bad the relationship is, like, not even a breakup or even breakups can create this type of PTSD when it comes to relationships. It has to be like a female relative, like
how many fucking people have been through divorces and breakups throughout their entire lives?
Pretty much the average day American society.
Right.
Yeah, and
why
go
can
to that
one
point,
of
Will. Hold
those
on.
break you so badly?
And go
so
to that point, Will.
Badly.
Even if there is even more breakups after that one breakup that did hurt you, like at best, what will happen is a man and or woman, they will be groomed or accustomed to, okay, this person hurt me, so move on to the next. Like they will easily recover even more. Like their skin will get built up.
You know what I believe? I don't think he likes sharing responsibilities with other people. I don't think he's done that for. This is just my personal perspective. He don't have to like it. I don't really give a fuck. But I don't think he enjoys the pressures of sharing a relationship. He likes being single, but yet having a partner who doesn't say anything, who doesn't nag him, who doesn't tell him to do something. You know, he enjoys the freedom of being single, but yet having a mate, if that makes sense.
That eliminates that. Well, first and foremost, that points to mental illness for one, because that's not normal behavior. That's not normal.
This is not a normal situation. Who marries a doll? Who marries a doll?
Exactly.
Kids do that because kids are fantasizing, but not grown men who is almost 70.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, he doesn't want to listen to a woman.
Oh, let's not forget when Cherry showed up in that. Remember when? Yeah,
he's drunk, and all the sloppiness that comes with. You know, I mean, he drinks hard shit.
I can tell.
I don't know. God, I'll let you continue on. I got my own opinions on that.
Will has a personal beef with Elder. That's the thing.
False alarm
I
was
don't
a
have a
piss.
beef
Not a
with
shit.
him. I just think he's fucking. I just think that he's suspect as fuck.
Yeah. All I know is my dad will fit perfectly in this whole manosphere. Like
I wouldn't leave him alone with my kids. That's all I'm saying.
That's a whole other tea for a whole nother time. Okay.
like,
We'll drink your fucking
catch that
tea.
on fleek.
yeah,
I've
like,
seen the doll. I've seen the doll. He's put the fucking doll on camera.
I've seen it too. He invited me. He wanted to invite me to the wedding. The video wedding live stream. I didn't attend because yeah.
Wait, there was a live stream of it?
Yeah. He literally married his doll, and he recorded
And when you see the doll and what he envisions as the perfect woman for him, you'll see what I'm talking about.
It's very youngish, if that's a way to describe it.
Oh God! Well, I guess
he likes little girls. That's what.
What's weird
I'm
about
not insinuating or making an
guys,
accusation.
I'll do
so
it for
people,
you. He likes little girls.
Will says
So
he
fuck
likes
him.
little girls. I
Will
say
said it. Quote me on that.
the doll looks very borderline 18-ish, if that makes sense.
I don't know if you could put an age on an inanimate object,
but it looks very teenage-like. Let's just put it like that.
Yeah. With the weird thing about these manosphere guys, it's annoying and kind of funny at the same time. And I say this because I just left a hangout. I mean, not just sleep, but I was this past weekend. I was in a hangout and I was in a drama with a few of these manosphere dorks, Amazing Lucas. But anyway, it's like when they always present. They always give this. It feels like they give these women this ultimatum, like, "Hey, you're gonna be in the cold winter, and blah 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 blah, and you don't fuck me."
Omega,
Otherwise,
I'm gonna interrupt you for 1 second. I have never heard a gay man says no homo in any sort of saying, "Oh, I love you guys, no homo." This is the first time. Wow.
Thank you.
Unbelievable.
That means you're listening to a good conversation for a change.
I just completely sound like Donald Trump.
I'm jealous.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But yeah, these mental fear guys, they always like
amazing.
They always be like, yeah, we women are gonna have a cold winter. Otherwise, we're gonna go like this Lucas dude. Like he told me he's gonna fuck something called a CP3, some type of 90, what the fuck ever type of shit. It's like an imaginary toy, like and I bring him up because like now that you brought up Elder, like he actually created that in real life, like his own perception of what he sees as a woman.
That's what kids do. Kids play with dolls to fantasize, but a 70-year-old or near 70-year-old man literally doing that as an adult, it's not normal at all.
This is why I fucking
it's weird because it's like in their mind when they when they do implement this type of tactic, it's like, what do you think women are going to see that and go, oh man, you're going to go fuck something that's fuck a figment out of your own imagination? Oh shit, I better woman up and get ready to go back to the kitchen for you. I'm so sorry. Like, do you think women are just going to automatically?
They're imaginary friends.
Women,
because like I said, they want to be single but yet have a mate they can call that basically they can channel in their minds. So the mate isn't physically doing anything. The mate is just stagnant. It's just there, not moving, not saying anything. But the mental cognitive reasoning of Elder is fantasizing that it may talk or it may say this or may say that. That's Elder splitting his brain and creating a persona for Malaya. In fact, the name Malaya is a form of Elder. It's Elder's mind. You can think of the doll as Elder too. The doll is also Elder because Malaya is a personification of Elder's imagination. So it's part of Elder. It's Elder's brain.
So he's fucking himself. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because it's a fantasy. And it's a perception. It's your own perception. So Malaya is part of
masturbation. Yeah, it's a form of masturbation.
Yeah, mental masturbation and physical in this case.
I got an idea for the manosphere. Why not just show up to random? If that's going to be our pickup line, why not just go up to a chick's house, butt ass naked, and be like, "Yeah, if you don't want to be alone and have a cold winter, I'm gonna fuck myself and just strip and get naked and start jacking off like they did in that South Park Gooback episode."
I wouldn't recommend doing that ever in your life.
No. I'm not saying like that's my dating advice.
For
I'm
no
saying
reason.
They might as well just
100% agree.
I'm just saying that's
Will has always been a fan of this channel.
Yeah, I'm just saying they might as well go about it.
Even when you talk shit about me, I like this show.
We work it out.
Just give me 1 second, ZTB. I love you.
Sure, yeah, girl, go do your thing. It's late.
I gotta go to work. It's 4:00 in the morning. I gotta go to work.
I'm about to end this shit soon. Yeah.
You know.
Sorry.
So thank you for having me. Love you.
Thank you for being here for the first time. Love you too, girl, as always. Thank you for being here for the first time.
Nice to meet you, Cherry Boo. Nice to meet you, Cherry Boo.
You too, guys.
Take care.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful day, morning, early morning, whatever.
Yeah.
We all got the same time. Okay, so it's 4. Except for Mega Magic. It's 2 for him.
It's 1.
Oh shit, daylight savings.
They're 3 hours
1,
behind.
Yeah.
So no, he's on the West Coast, so
yeah. I'm just saying the manosphere guys might as well just show up and masturbate. It'll be a lot cheaper instead of you making up a whole imaginary girlfriend for yourself. Just masturbate or get a pocket pussy. Or
Malaya is a pocket pussy, and that's what she is physically.
Or do what Officer Doofy did in Scary Movie 2, get a vacuum cleaner. I mean, just saying. I'm just giving them cheap. I'm giving them cheap suggestions. Like
I'm not even trying to trigger these motherfuckers, but
see how Omega turn on me? I didn't even say nothing. God.
I'm giving you cheap. I mean, just get up, just get some lube, or get up. Yeah, do as Officer Doofy did, or
no,
or American Pie. Wait,
go ahead. I'm waiting.
Yeah, American Pie.
You just told me to wait, so I'm gonna wait.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Sorry.
Can I go ahead, or am I supposed to wait?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm rambling. Sorry, I'm just rambling ideas. I'm being stupid.
What else is new? Anyways.
I just did. Omega, you really turn on me. I didn't even say nothing about you. And you're going to talk shit about Elder? How could you?
He's a
Like,
punk
seriously.
motherfucker, man. No, he's a punk motherfucker. And I'll tell you why. Like, the thing is, like, he only caters to people when they think they're going to give him something. He's the complete opposite of everything he proclaims himself to be. He's not self-righteous. He's not trying to help anybody. He's trying to get help for himself. But when that help comes, okay, and they drop the truth bombs on him, like, hey, man, this is happening.
What have I been saying? But I guess I'm the
I
villain.
know.
I guess
You're right. You are 100% correct. You are 100%. You have been from day one. You try to fucking help this motherfucker. He don't want to hear it, and he sides with these dumbasses that are most likely using him for some type of financial gain. I'm not gonna say who they are, but they know who
I
the fuck
know
they
the
are.
people, and this is in his first rodeo. He has been giving out funds for friendship for many years, a decade
you go.
long, probably more than that.
So I'm not a fucking fool. I called that shit out, and that's just from my personal point of view. But this person right here, and I said, if anybody knows, ETB knows, is saying the same fucking thing. So
Yeah, I
You
know.
mean the
There you go.
grifters in the manosphere, like the Kevin Samuels, the Fresh and Fits, or the roommates, and the
I got
Andrew
nothing against.
Shakes? Oh,
I got nothing against Kevin Samuels. Just saying, but
I do. It's the
I don't
same
put
message.
them in the same stratosphere. I think
do.
he was trying to help your fucking punk ass out, but you weren't listening.
It's the
They
same
got a
shit that,
PS4, and you lost that opportunity. See, there you go.
I mean, he's saying the same shit that's been said by everyone else, including my daddy. My daddy says it, and he's a drunk. I was groomed in what the hell Kevin Samuel said. I was born in the darkness. I was raised in the darkness. I knew the shit that Kevin Samuel was going to say before. I was hearing that shit when I was 34. I
How
even
do you
turned
feel
18.
right now?
I'm glad I didn't listen to my daddy. Well, for the most part. I mean, some of the shit he said growing up was funny as hell, but he would never say it around my mom. But at the same time, like pretty much, like that's the reason why I love Married with Children, because that family I mostly identified with.
Ed Bundy, yeah.
Yeah, the Bundys.
Do you still have a good relationship with your mother?
Yeah, I do. Even though she's very conservative Christian and I'm an atheist, even though she thought atheism meant I was
that's
gay.
a no.
And a
Just
liberal.
lied.
Let's not forget that, because there's atheist Christians out there.
He just lied.
Unfortunately.
Omega, you just lied. You don't have a good relationship with her. With the
Yeah, I do.
opinions that you have, does she know about your channel?
No one knows about my family. Doesn't know about my channel.
Shit.
So.
Well, if she finds out, then
Me and my mom, we debate
you're
back
gonna
and forth
have a
sometimes about our
fucking
atheism.
problem.
Me and my mom, we debate back and forth about atheism and Christianity. Like
Yeah,
even
but
when
not
I'm
all
married,
the shit that we talked about tonight. Does she know about that?
And
shit?
the main argument is I have to see it to believe it.
okay, well,
That's how it always comes about.
I mean, my mom thought being an atheist meant I was gay, but I had to break it down to my mom. Like, no, mom. She was like,
Oh, I was about to say, what? Really?
Yeah, my mom was like, boy, God made Adam and Eve. I'm like, mom, that's not what atheism means. It just means you don't believe in God. She's like, well, don't gay people don't believe in God? I'm like, mom, we got to talk.
No,
okay?
they're gay Christians. They're gay. There's gay people who are heavy God believers. They just want to fuck the same sex and have a relationship with the same sex. But they live a conservative life. Like, they don't whore themselves. Like, the ones who are, gay Christians, they don't whore themselves. They try to make it work with the relationship they have, and
Yeah. I mean, though me and my mom, we have our debate. We have our quote unquote, I guess you could call it debate bro moments. But at the same time, like overall, like my mom, she'd be like, hey, just pray to God. Or she kind of, subconsciously kind of puts God in my mind. Like, hey, pray to God about your problems. Or, God's going to be here, or you should go to church. I'll be like, okay, mom, sure, mom. I love
she's
you too,
speaking
Mom.
in third person. She's really saying herself, like she's wishing that, she's giving her blessings to you,
Right. That's why
she's
I look
speaking
at
in
it.
third party.
Stop sucking dick.
Stop my mama ass wipe.
Oh my God!
I'm
Y'all invited to my channel.
telling you that your mom
no
is
problem,
telling
Lennon.
you.
Whenever you do it, I'll
She's telling me. Oh, okay, I'm about to say, don't be talking about my mama, you
I'm
fuck.
echoing the sentiment that your mom said upon you. She said,
Oh, okay, I
"My
got
son,
you.
If there's anything in life that I don't want you to do, I don't want you to suck dick, but you went and did it anyways."
Yeah, right. Okay.
because I'm a Satanist. I'm a devil worshiper.
Yeah.
That's what
I am
Lil Nas
Satan.
X does. Oh yeah, I forgot. Will you? See, how the hell you're a conservative and a say? Oh damn!
Imagine that
son.
the greatest,
I know,
the greatest
right?
trick that the world has not solved yet is that the devil exists and he's right here in front of you,
I
having a
mean,
great conversation with you.
you got Mitch McConnell beating you. He's the Grim Reaper. Well, wait, he's the Grim Reaper. Never mind. And that's him calling
I
himself
am
that, by the
Satan,
way. So,
and I have
what?
money too.
If I go to hell, I hope I go with the good people in hell. You know, because I don't deserve to be.
At least you have a good
sickos.
conversation and it's warm, right?
Yeah, and it's engaging, and we're talking like adults, not fucking cursing each other out like you fucking bitch. I'm a dox you, and I'm yeah, you know, it's healthy.
I feel like heaven ain't shit unless I have the people I love with it or with me. Like, yeah,
right. What type of heaven would that be, right?
It's like, yeah, I'm seeing the world, but guess what? I can't tell nobody that I know.
What if you find out that heaven is ultra conservative, like 100% conservative in heaven?
I don't think the divine gives a fuck what type of side you take.
No, but I'm talking like
And
the
trust
policies.
me, I know because I've been there.
Chayton says, "Heaven, what's that exactly?"
Chayton's a whole other story. I'll have to judge him on another day.
Well,
the fact that he left so quick once I arrived is, you know, I don't know.
You know, people are awesome.
He was supposed
Thanks.
to be. He was supposed to be the counterpoint, and he left. What the fuck happened?
Yeah.
I just want to get back in here. I know you ain't working. Get the fuck back up in here.
Well, I am, and I'm gonna end the stream like in 10 or 15 minutes. So.
Shit.
Yeah. It's very late.
Yeah, I'm getting the shits too.
We can continue this to like
Satan
if Omega
never
Magic
sleeps.
wants to, you know, continue it tomorrow or today. We can do it like later on.
I'm out to work later on today.
Shit.
Well,
Or
today
sometime in the weekend we can do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully I can get my guests on because
full. There's a lot of sinners around.
Yeah, hopefully I can get my guests. I've
We're
been
all
trying to get on
sinners.
my show for main and streaming, and because
And
I
some of
definitely
us
want to
love our
talk about
sins.
abortion.
I mean, I can't. I love to sin, and it's enjoyable. I love it.
It is the end of Pride Month after all, so I gotta fucking collect as many as I can.
Yes, it is. You know, and also the straight people too, because they practice gay-like behavior. Yes, they will be going to hell too.
They come.
Yeah.
It felt like it was 8,000 years based upon all the hate. I'm like, God damn, it's a gay pride month, not a gay pride lifetime. Jesus Christ.
So,
well, I know corporations made their money.
So when you don't hear from Omega for a while, you know where he is.
I'll probably be there with them.
Yeah. Will, you'll be there too.
So
don't lie.
Will be there too.
I oversee these type of affairs.
Yeah.
Well, don't get it twisted for those that are, you know, I gotta have to put out a disclaimer real quick. I like women, and that's it.
You can like women, but you know, sex positions are a whole nother.
Except Blair White. Haha.
Oh! That's a double whammy because you hitting a dual point there. That's a gender point. That's a gender
trigger
point.
you will trigger you. Yeah.
I don't think of shit in that type of way. That's a man. I was fooled.
You didn't know that though.
I was fooled.
So
that shows you.
You were fooled, but I mean, okay, so you know. But just saying,
it's okay to like trans women. Will
you slip up? We slip up one.
Am I not absolved of fixing, you know, faults along the way?
Well, it's okay to like a trans woman and be attracted to her. It's not like you're dating her, but you were attracted to her. You just didn't know she was born a male until.
And you could be attracted to something and not want to sexually want to have sex.
You're not dating her, but you're attracted to her. You can't lie. Like there are a lot of trans women out there that fucking look gorgeous. They look better than biological women.
But that is the ultimate deception, though.
Yeah, but the thing is, Will, like,
but they're living their truth. Like they're not. They don't want to be a man.
Hold on, Will. It's like this. You could say someone looks hot without the intent of want to actually have sex with them. Example, like if you see a guy with a nice haircut, you could be like, "Hey, nice haircut."
Keep a fucking show going, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Really dives deep. Yeah. No pun intended.
ZTV wanted to go to sleep. He ain't going to sleep now.
I'm going to sleep because we're going to continue this on Omega Magic if he's willing to do it this weekend.
Yeah, we'll see what's going on. We'll see how it plans. We'll see how it all checks out. But yeah.
I'm not gonna fucking certify myself as joining that show though, so you're gonna have to pay me some money.
Will Kavanaugh, you're a part of my Supreme Court, so yes, you're gonna be
like
there.
I said. By the way, him and Charlie, this video staying up. Yeah, it is staying up. Welcome
Okay,
back,
Will
guys.
Kavanaugh. Okay, yeah.
Or the fucking what's his name is back.
I wanted to have this discussion with the man child if he would have showed up, but I don't think he's gonna show up because he's scared. But because
who was that?
You know who I'm talking about?
Oh,
yeah.
Elder?
No.
Yeah.
Because he's very pro. Like he's made several anti-abortion videos. Like he's very pro-life, and he
It's more
thinks
like
that.
Well, I mean, as am I, but you have to be reasonable.
Well, he's been like that. Even when I was friends with him at the time, he's always been like that. So I thought he would kind of come in here to try to intercept and scream and yell and try to, get a one-up over me.
He fucking did he not? Well, again, this is that sealed the deal for me is that his views on pedophilia.
Yeah,
like that's the fucking one. That's the one for me.
Yeah.
And it makes and it kind of like when you see and you like actually observe, like no wonder why he's friends with Elder, and no wonder why Elder fucking swears by him is because they're like kids or kid-like looking figures
or ambiguously looking, no pun intended, but ambiguous looking individuals. Age-wise.
By the way.
Yep. No.
What you saying, Kevin?
And he raped his own sister.
Reptile.
I gotta unwind. I'm gonna stay up and do some sideline mechanics behind my channel as well too. So yeah, I'm gonna just do my part in as far as in helping ZTB industry by ejecting myself. But it's good talking with y'all. Thanks for all keeping me up.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm glad we actually have this discussion, and it can be engaging to the point where it's not entirely drama related. It's more of a open discussion that we
it's
can.
It's a
have
legitimate discussion. This is something that needs to be talked about.
For shizzle, yes.
Until
next time.
And you're leaving
because
you're a fucking bitch.
Unless ZTB don't have hell on me.
Put your fucking
well, don't
big
worry.
boy
I'm already
pants
prime
on,
target
Omega.
number 2. You're prime target number 1. BioX is
I will
prime
put my
target
pants
number
on, but
3.
you ain't done doing your work down there, Will. So yeah.
What the hell is going on? Shit. On that note, guys, thank you guys for coming in. It's been a pleasure. Thank you. We're going to continue this on Omega Magic stream if he's able to do it. If he's not, well, just tune in for part 2. Omega Maggot. It was a Freudian slip. All right, guys. Thank you guys for coming, and peace. I'm tired.